So recently I've put a couple forged carbon fiber pieces on my car, so I figured I'd make a quick video for you guys, tell you a little bit about forged carbon fiber if you're not already familiar with it, give you some of the pros and cons, and overall help you out if you're deciding to get it on your car or not. So with that said, let's get into it. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about forged carbon fiber, some of the pros and cons, and hopefully help you guys out decide if you want to get it for your car or not. So we're just going to get right into it. So I want to talk about a couple things. So one, obviously the look of forged carbon fiber, how hard it is to get, and then lastly, of course, the price. So now, of course, if you guys aren't familiar with forged carbon fiber, or if you just haven't seen it before, this is what it is over here. So obviously by the name, it is still carbon fiber, so it does have that advantage of being super lightweight. But what you're probably more used to is this weaved carbon fiber over here. This is just classic. You guys have definitely seen this a lot on cars. So now this classic carbon fiber, what it is basically like these woven sheets, as you guys can obviously tell over here. So they take these woven sheets, they put them together, they put a whole bunch of resin on it, and they basically fit them to molds. And that's how this carbon fiber is created. As you can tell, this is genuine carbon fiber by just looking at the back. But yeah, that's how this one's created. Whereas forged carbon fiber, if you guys can tell, there's a whole bunch of like random pieces, and that's because to create this, what they basically do is take a whole bunch of cut pieces, put them together, and then they add the resin and put them to the mold and all that type of stuff. So this one's created from a whole bunch of woven sheets, whereas this one's a whole bunch of random pieces basically put together. That's just a high level explanation just to give you an idea. So with that said, that basically helps me transition to the first thing I wanted to talk about, guys, and that's obviously the look. So obviously right off the bat, they look very different, and they always will, but the thing is there's more to it. So like I was saying before, forged carbon does come from a whole bunch of like little pieces basically put together, and what that does, guys, is kind of create this sporadic look. But since this piece over here is created from these woven sheets, it's very organized, very put together, and very consistent. Now obviously they both have a look and a style, but something to note, guys, is if you're doing forged carbon fiber all throughout your car or weaved carbon fiber all throughout your car, it's going to be a lot easier to get a consistent look with the weaved carbon fiber. And that again is because since this is woven, it's easy to match and stay consistent. The one thing I will say about weaved carbon fiber is you can actually get different weaves. So I believe this one, don't quote me, I think this is a 2x2. You can also get it 1x1 and 3x3 as well. So you'll notice the difference in the actual weave. It'll just be tighter or larger, but overall the weave is still gonna look pretty much the same. So if you guys do like mirror caps and then a front lip, they'll look very similar. Just try to match the weave, and even if you don't, it'll still look similar. Whereas forged carbon, since it's a whole bunch of sporadic pieces over here, the lip itself, for example, does not look the same anywhere else throughout the lip. It's very sporadic and inconsistent. And then let's say you get another forged carbon piece like a side mirror cap, it might also look very different. Here is just another look at a forged carbon piece I have on the car. Now all these pieces are real forged carbon fiber, but if you guys can tell on camera, they do all look very different. They look the same, but still different. Whereas again, this weaved carbon fiber piece, it's gonna be easy to mimic and keep consistent all throughout your car. So now for me, I personally don't mind. I actually really like that sporadic and kind of messy look of the forged carbon fiber. But yeah, with that said, they obviously have two very different styles, but I just wanted to note that to you guys. Overall, it's gonna be a lot harder to get a consistent look with forged carbon fiber. Maybe if you get everything from the same manufacturer or seller or whatever it is, and you can get a more consistent look. I got all my pieces from different sellers, which I feel like a lot of other people do as well. So just my opinion, guys, but just keep that in mind when deciding which one you want to go for. So here's also a quick look at them in the sun. So this of course is the forged carbon. You guys can definitely tell it has a lot of depth, a lot of character. And then here's the weave carbon over here. Obviously, guys, this one also looks really good. It's classic carbon fiber. I don't think you can ever go wrong with it, but just so you guys get a quick comparison in the sun. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is scarcity and accessibility. So now obviously, guys, these parts are made by a whole bunch of different manufacturers and sellers. So when you're looking for aftermarket parts for your car and weave carbon, there's a whole bunch of options because obviously one, this has been out longer, whereas forged carbon fiber is still relatively new. It's not exactly brand new, but it's still relatively new, and it's still becoming more popular in the aftermarket car community. So I've noticed when trying to get parts in forged carbon fiber, it's a lot tougher. For example, with these side mirror caps, I found a whole bunch in weave carbon, whereas these ones over here, I only really found 2 people or 3 people selling them. So your options in forged carbon fiber are going to be a lot more limited compared to weaved carbon fiber. Now I personally don't mind that too much. It does make it a little more of a headache to find the right pieces and for the right price. But when you guys are deciding which one to go with, definitely keep that in mind, because again, with weave carbon fiber, you're just gonna have a lot more options, and that probably helps keep the price down, which helps me transition into the last one, the price. Now, like I was saying before, there's a whole bunch of different sellers and manufacturers for all these products, so price is really gonna vary a lot. But what I want to do is focus on one single piece, and that's this front lip over here. Now, the reason why I want to do that, guys, is the same company actually sells this in weave carbon as well as forged carbon fiber. So that way we can get a apples to apples comparison of a single piece, both in forged carbon fiber and weave carbon, and get an idea of how that varies in price. Something to keep in mind is this price might vary just out of demand. Again, forged carbon fiber is a little more rare, I've noticed, so that might be what's causing the price to increase. But regardless though, in terms of price, for this front lip in forged carbon fiber, as I have it right now, it is $560. Very expensive, I know. However, if you were to get the very same lip in weave carbon, it is $480. So $560 versus $480, obviously that means there's a difference of $80. That's nothing too significant, but regardless, it does mean that the forged carbon is more expensive. If you consider it $80 compared to $480, which you would have paid for the weave carbon, that's about like maybe a 20% increase. So I'm not saying this is going to be the case with everything, but generally speaking, if you were to take like every piece of carbon fiber on your car and then just multiply the price that you paid by 1.2, it's a good chunk, guys. So definitely something to consider. So again, overall, apples to apples, forged carbon fiber is definitely more expensive than weave carbon fiber. Also, in terms of price, guys, because this kind of relates, is weave carbon fiber, you can find a lot of fake carbon fiber pieces for it. So what that means is basically just plastic wrapped in weave carbon fiber, or like hydro dipped or something like that. I'm not advocating for that, but if you want to get that carbon fiber look for a lot cheaper, you can definitely do that. What I've noticed with forged carbon fiber though is that it's harder to do. They still do create forged carbon fiber wrap, so that's also an option, but also something else to consider. So weave carbon fiber, you can definitely go the super cheap way and just get a whole bunch of fake pieces if that's what you choose to do. I've done it before, so I don't judge. So I know not everyone is a fan of forged carbon fiber, guys, but I've done it on my car and I personally love the look. Here's just a shot of the car so you can see the front lip, the side mirror caps. I also have the license plate frame, and I do plan on getting some more pieces like the diffuser. Personally, I absolutely love the look of forged carbon fiber. I think it looks unique and it gives the car a cool look. I actually don't think that the camera does it justice. I think it looks a lot better in person. So if you guys can check it out in person, if you know someone who has it, definitely check it out, guys, because it looks so much better in person than it does on camera. So overall, guys, forged carbon fiber is more rare. It's just harder to find aftermarket pieces in forged carbon fiber. Generally speaking, it is more expensive, especially when you compare apples to apples. But personally, I absolutely love it. And overall, I'm personally really happy that I went with it. So if you guys are thinking about doing it, I personally would recommend it. With that said, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.